Greetings, my friends, and welcome to Hermit's Rest. I wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite philosophers, ancient Greek philosopher named Diogenes. Lived in 340 BC. Uh, he started the Cynicism movement. Uh, a lot of people might not be familiar with cynicism, but they've all heard cynic. Oh, he's just a cynic, implying having a negative connotation. Unfortunately, throughout the years, which often happens with great philosophy, is totally misunderstood. There was nothing negative about cynicism at all. And maybe I'll get into that some other day. But my favorite story is Diogenes is just in the outskirts of Athens. He's sitting underneath a tree in the afternoon, and all of a sudden, there's a cloud of dust approaching him, and as it gets closer and closer, it turns out to be the king of Greece and his entourage on horseback. And the king pulls up and looks down at Diogenes and says, "Are you Diogenes, the great philosopher?" And Diogenes says, "Well, I'm Diogenes, also known as Diogenes the dog, because Diogenes lived like a dog, and there was a whole philosophical reason why he did so. That may be something I'll get into. It was brilliant." And so the king jumps down and, walks up and is towering, towering over Diogenes. This guy in a scruffy robe, sitting looking up at the king. And he says, "I need your wisdom. I've come here to invite you to the palace. I want you to be part of my, my palace, staff, and so that I can have access to your wisdom and ask you questions and have them readily available to me. And I'm offering you a home in the palace, opulent lodgings." Opulent feast, as well, Diogenes is money, jewels, riches, whatever you ask, I am more than happy to provide. And Diogenes thinks about that for a little while, kind of looks up at him and he says, if you would just move over a few feet because you're blocking my sunlight. Offered riches, ask me for anything. Just move over, you're blocking my sun. Now, there's a method to my madness and why I mentioned that, and that's because yesterday, this channel, lo and behold, and unbeknownst to me why, in many ways, has become monetized. YouTube accepted the channel into its YouTube Partners program. And I mentioned that to Lori yesterday. "Oh, hey, look! I just got a notice. The channel's been monetized." Lori was walking away from me, on her way to do some chores, and so, I got this, from her. Bless her heart. But at any rate, we're not diminishing that. It's it is an honor, and a lot of people strive for it, and I'm not diminishing it. But I wanted to talk to you about how and why and what I intend to do with it. I have no desire and I have no intention of utilizing the new revenue streams that apparently are now at my disposal. It was never my intention when I started this channel, and why should it be now? And there's one part of the program that's actually pretty valid, and that's making money off of ads. They'll share some revenue with you, and they're going to show the ads regardless. And so now they offer to share you a very small percentage of the revenues. People that you hear about getting rich on YouTube, hell, those are people that have millions of subscribers or up into the tens and hundreds of thousands of subscribers and views. I mean, at any rate. But But that makes sense, except that unfortunately they overlook the practicality for an old hermit living in the wilderness, and that's that the only way to access these funds is after you set up an account for direct deposit or whatever, they'll mail you the secret pin. Well, I don't get mail. I mean, a UPS doesn't come up here. FedEx doesn't come up here. I mean, I don't get mail. And they've never made any really provisions for people like this, in spite of all the off-grid channels they have. And I don't know how those people have done it. They've never made any provisions for post office boxes as being the only way that you receive mails. But at any rate, I'll keep you posted. But the other thing that I found, interesting or whatever was all the revenue streams that, are now at my disposal. And one of them is Super Thanks. You've seen it, the little circle with the dollar. Excuse me. I've tried redoing this thing 3 or 4 times, and because of coughing or bad lighting, I can't do it again. I'm too tired to mess with it. So please bear with me. Super Thanks. So you click on the Super Thanks button, and it takes you to a screen where you can donate a one-time donation of $1 to $2 to $5. I've seen them even up as high as $500. No thanks. No desire to do that. Another one is I can now offer channel memberships for a monthly fee. I mean, what? I wouldn't pay a monthly fee for this channel. I mean, I really wouldn't. Why would I expect or want anybody else to do that? Another one is live streaming. Oh hell, we're on somewhat of a tight budget up here. We pay $100 a month for 100 gigabytes via the satellite, and so I'm not doing live streaming, and giving people the opportunity to do super live stream chats, thanks, clicks, or whatever, to generate money. So basically, while I appreciate all that, and I think it's really, really neat, and I'm not, like I say, diminishing, the opportunity or whatever, but what I am saying to a lot of those revenue streams that are now being offered to me, get out of the way. You're blocking my sunlight. And I'll tell you why. See, it's because my viewers and our subscribers, that's our sunlight. I'm not wanting to generate money from them. This channel gets some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful comments, and I always respond to them, and I respond directly. I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but if you're a content creator and somebody makes a comment like, oh, hey, I really like your channel, AI has got like little boxes. All they have to do is click thanks a lot, or I'm a new subscriber, click welcome, that kind of stuff. I don't click those boxes, and I can sometimes at times have 50, 60 or more comments. You didn't click a box or generate your comment via AI, and I'm not going to respond or reply to it with AI. I'm going to type out many thanks or get into the discussion with you. That's my sunlight for this channel. Is the interaction via the comments. I call you guys who comment my comment contributors, and I hope some people will follow through and read. Forget the video. Read the doggone comments. People come up with some wonderful stuff. They're either going to, agree with me. Some agree with maybe a point or two, but they're very gracious in the way they do it, and it gives you some food for thought. And like I've been told, I mumble. Hey, good point. I do mumble. Wasn't done negatively. It was done, with a well thought out suggestion. A lot of the ones that I really like is them talking about their their fathers, their grandfathers, or just their lives, trying to, in living dirt poor, dirt cheap, comfortably. Great, great, great stuff. I'm an old hermit up here, and I'll tell you what, I haven't left this place, as I've mentioned before, in hell probably 4 or 5 years. Literally left the place. I've been up here 27 years. Um, I primarily communicate with my wife, Lori, and our dog, Tyke, who, unless I've got something to eat for him, rarely really pays much attention to me, although he's a loving and affectionate guy. There's no doubt about that. And to be able to sit up here and just share and shoot the breeze and chat about philosophy, or some of the stuff that I get into about how to set up some off-grid stuff, or just living simple and living out in the wilderness and the trials and tribulations, and to get response and develop a little communication and interaction with a society, with a group of people that I'm far, far away from, is a real treat. I mean, I get up in the morning, and that's the first thing I do. I don't look at my stats and that. Now I can look at revenue. I currently like it right now. It's zero revenue generated. Okay, well, but I look at the comments, and every time somebody comments or a new subscriber comes by and says, "Hey, man, thanks," you're kind of primitive, and it's crudely done. But, we appreciate that. Well, I appreciate you. And that's the best revenue stream that I think a guy could ever ask for. So, as far as opportunities to generate money, I'm just going to say, just, move aside from, don't block my sunlight. Fame and fortune, my friends, are not gifts from the gods. They're a test that very few people pass, and many don't survive. Diogenes and hopefully me, will pass the test and survive. See you later.